Yeah, I mean, obviously we wanted more from last week. We think we could have, maybe done some more to, change the results and get some more points. But I mean, I think we could be, we had a couple good performances, I think, and I think we played well, like on the road in Minnesota. Like, just sometimes it's just not your night. Like in Nashville, we just couldn't finish it off on certain things, and they get two chances and they have two goals. So sometimes that's just the game, and we've been looking at what we can do better. But I mean, for the most part, I feel like we're kind of coming together as a team and figuring out how like we want to play, and I think we're in a good way right now. And right now, all we can do is just focus on the next ones. We can't really look back now. It's just now about LAFC.
What do you feel like you can do better?
I mean, I just feel like we can, be a bit more aggressive. Like against a team like Nashville, they're not really gonna play through us and play like soccer all around the field. We got to just be locked in on transition and set piece moments to limit their chances on goal. And I feel like for LAFC, it's kind of figuring out what their strengths are and not letting them figure out good looks on goal. So we know they're good in transition and they can play when they want to, but they have no problem going direct. So I feel like they're a pretty effective team overall, and we got to do the best we can to limit their playmakers making plays.
Roman, I think it's fairly easy for us on the outside to have perspective about the matches in terms of like Columbus being availability, the suspensions and stuff like that, Nashville being the end of a 3-game and 8-day stretch, so there's maybe some fatigue. Is that something that you guys think of or consider in your evaluations, like as players personally, or is that, I don't want to call them excuses, but how do you see it?
I mean, it's always talked about, and it is worked into it. Like you do feel different at the end of a 3-game week when you're playing a game and stuff, but at the end of the day, like everyone's going through it. It's not an excuse. You can't like change the way you play because of we don't have certain guys on the pitch, or we don't have certain fitness levels. It's like the guys that are out there have to compete regardless. So we can't really use it as an excuse. I mean, obviously it might factor in, but I don't really think it's like a valid way to justify why we don't get results. I feel like everyone's in the midst of 3-game weeks and stuff, and we got to figure out ways to just power through and get better results.
The flip side of that, not to try and set up something here, but LAFC's coming off of a match last night that went really long, 3-day week. Is that something that you consider when you're seeing a team coming in here maybe a little bit at a disadvantage, and we really need to capitalize, we need to take advantage of that?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it definitely benefits us that we have more of the rest, but I mean, they have a deep squad, and they're used to playing a lot of games, and they're used to doing Champions Cup at the start of the year and stuff like that. So they're not it's not new for them to play a big game on a Wednesday and then a big game on a Saturday. So they're going to be coming out and and firing. So we can't really look at them as they're going to be like a wounded animal, because they have a lot of quality and they'll be ready to hit us. So we're not looking at it as something we can take lightly, but we're hoping we can take advantage of it.
We'll jump to Pat Brennan on the Zoom. Pat, you can go ahead.
Thanks, everyone. I appreciate it. Rowan, good morning. I'm wondering if you have given any thought at all this week to the fact that your first career start in MLS was against LAFC back in 22.
I kind of have. I'm not like looking at it too much, but it is nice that we get to play him again at home, because that was like where it started for myself. So it'll be fun to play him again. I mean, they have like different guys in there now, so it'll be a different game. But we're looking forward to the challenge.
Rome, do you remember what that day was like for you? Obviously at that time, the start wasn't totally anticipated because of Alex's injury. Just what were you feeling throughout that match? And could you talk to us a little bit about what that day was like?
Yeah, I mean, like all day leading up to it, like I knew I was gonna play, but I was just like pretty nervous. And then you're just going through the warm-ups, but like you're just not really. You're trying to just be focused on the reps and stuff, but you're trying not to think about the game. But then, the game comes, and then like the first 5 minutes, like I couldn't like hear myself think, because like the fans are so loud. Like you don't realize how loud it is, because like my first game I played was an Open Cup game, and there was like a couple thousand people there, and it was still like really loud. And I was like, I can't even talk to my defenders. Like, how am I going to do it if I have to play in front of more people? And then we're playing LAFC on the weekend. There's like a lot of fans and stuff, and it just took me a minute to like just figure out how to, manage myself in that moment. But after I got, the first save under my belt and like a couple passes, I was just like, all right, it's kind of just business as normal. Been doing it pretty much my whole life, so it's nothing really changes. It's just, kind of adjusting to the environment a little bit. And then after that, it was fun because like for me, like coming in, it was house money because at that time I really wasn't expecting to, get a run of games or any of this stuff because I knew Alec had like a little bit of an injury, but I didn't know when he'd be back. So I was just like, I'll take whatever opportunity I get and enjoy every moment out there. And then, just kept kind of going from there. But I do really appreciate them giving me that opportunity to play that game 2 years ago.
Cool. Thanks for that. And in terms of LAFC, there, with all their star power, it's really not a typical, MLS opponent. I feel like I'm sure that wouldn't psych you guys out one way or the other. But I just wonder if, in a historical context, you're able to appreciate, playing against, Hugo Lloris and Giroud and, even Carlos Vela, who's been around in this league. Is it, I don't know, does this roster kind of stand out from the rest in terms of what you guys typically face in MLS?
I guess kind of because, it's LAFC and they have like the big stars, and also like my mom's a big Giroud fan, so it'll be a good game for her. But like for myself, growing up watching Lloris, it's cool and stuff. But at this point, we're in the same league. We're going out on the field together, so you can't look at him as an idol or anything. It's competition now, so the mindset kind of changes. But I guess it will be cool to play some of those guys. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. We just got to win the game and then go from there. So yeah.
Were you maybe a little more starstruck that first
Yeah.
game that you played? Like,
Yeah, oh, for sure. Like, yeah, when I was playing Carlos Vela, then I was like, oh my gosh, these guys are like unreal. But now it's like, played Messi last year, all this stuff kind of, fades. Like after the first couple of games, it kind of fades, but it's still cool. The novelty isn't lost, but it's not as cool as it once was because now it's just it's business now, So yeah.
How do you think you're different? You've obviously gotten a lot of experience since then. What's the biggest, just kind of looking back to then, from then to now, where do you think you've grown the most?
I think my calmness and maturity in the goal. I feel like before I wasn't like a spaz, but I was just more like erratic, I guess, with the ball and kind of like more high strung in certain moments because like it's intense moments sometimes. But I feel like, I don't know, I've worked a lot with Paul Rogers to understand calm in certain moments and seeing a lot more of the game than just kind of like reacting to it. So I'm just trying to, I feel like, if you prepare right and you're in the right positions, like you have nothing to worry about, so you shouldn't be stressed. So we're just doing the work to be prepared for certain moments so you can stay calm and make saves. So I think kind of that sort of thing I've gotten better at throughout the games.
Wrap up Carter here.
Not to make this overly about your opponents or about praising opponents, but Hugo Lloris is a pretty significant name in the goalkeeper world, like internationally. And the goalkeeper union is fairly tight-knit. It's a different kind of relationship, I'd imagine. And so I was wondering if maybe it's not Hugo, maybe it's someone else, but are there goalkeepers that you look to internationally that you are influenced by, maybe you look to for inspiration as to how to perform or behave or look up to in that way still?
You obviously take a little bit from everyone's game because, obviously, like, Lloris, he captained France, a World Cup winning France. Like, he's as good as it comes, so you can look at him for, like, his footwork and, his agility and stuff like that. But, right now, there's obviously, in the Premier League, like, guys like Vicario, like, David Raya is having a great year. So you look at how they play the game, and it's pretty cool. But, there's I don't know, there's a lot of good goalies across the world. You have guys like Mignon and AC Milan. Jan Sommer, with what he has at Inter, like, I feel like he still gets disrespected, but like just how he just maximizes everything he has, because he's not the biggest goalie, but the way he uses all his limbs, all his agility to make certain saves, it's really cool to watch. So there's a lot of good technicians and there's a lot of good good shot stoppers. I don't know, there's a lot of good stuff to watch these days. But yeah, but growing up it was like Czech, those guys, like back in the day, but now it's more guys like Allison, Raya, those guys.
Rome, thanks so much, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.